an actual display centre, yeah, type deal, that would be something else, you know. Because I have got security cameras all the way around the van as well, and they can run through an app. They work off a blink system, so that would be interesting as well, especially because it's a left-hand drive. And I've mounted the cameras, the side cameras, facing, like sitting on the overhang bed there, right on the corners, so the cameras move backwards. Most people do it the other way, but I've got to think, well, she's left-hand side, if we're on a blind bend, I could then put the camera on that side, and I could do all the blind bends, and it has worked. I have tested it out, it does work. So that was just a pleasant accident. Well, not really, I did give it some thought, I'll give it a try. It doesn't matter which way the camera's facing, as long as your security covers the side of the van. And my cameras go all the way around, one in the back, one in the front, and one either side. What gave me that idea was the trucks. All the real up-to-date fancy trucks are getting rid of their great big mirrors and putting little tiny cameras on the side. So you will try and put these trucks and they haven't got a mirror. You know, and I suppose those mirrors do get knocked a lot of times. Even I've got had one of my side lights knocked off from a truck's mirror going down a country lane because it was tanking it down now, and it was so tight. It took out the light, and the noise was so horrific. I thought, and that was in this van, and I thought, that's it, that's my home, gone. I had the visuals. I had to keep driving. There was no way of pulling over. There was no way of stopping. He didn't. He just carried on. I didn't have the cameras up then, so there was no way of recording his number plate or anything. I was just frozen. Because all I thought was my home, and my heart was sunk. My stomach was turning. Jeez. And in my head I had this whole visual, like on my whole side of my van being torn away, and that was the visual imagery I had in my head, because I had no idea. It was just a horrific sound of tearing and scraping metal as it drove past. I just thought it took the side of my van out, or the corner of it. And anyway, got, I don't know, a few minutes, but it felt like forever, down the road. Got into a lay-by, pulled over, turned the engine off, jumped out, head looking down at the floor, scared to raise my head up in case I saw the whole van destroyed. And luckily, as I lifted me up, the relief coming off my shoulders was unbelievable when I realised that all that had happened was that it had torn off the side light that it jolts out of the side up just by one of my top windows, and that was it. It literally is designed to break anyway and snap off, and that was the noise. But honestly, for a moment there, I thought, yeah, that was it. That was the whole van. That was my whole home. Or that was the whole van life gone. Because at that point as well, I'd only just really bought the van, so I was just really getting the gist of the size and the dimensions of her as well. And yeah, and I'd spent all my money on it. That was it. All my money was in her, so I had no reserves, no nothing. But there we go. That was interesting. I think that was only about a year and a half ago. That's the story.
Lorry is a standalone video segment in its own right. It has a clean structure, narrow road, truck mirror hits the van, horrific tearing sound, no safe place to stop, certainty that the side of your home has been destroyed, eventual lay-by, fear of looking up, relief when it was only the sacrificial side marker light. The detail that makes it work is that Matrix was not merely a vehicle. At that point, she contained nearly all your money and was your home. That gives the impact real stakes. It also connects directly to the camera. You already had the beginnings of a 4-camera system because a large left-hand drive motorhome has genuine blind spots. The future dashboard could combine reversing camera, left and right blindside cameras, front security view, recording phones, ChatGPT control, speaker, charging and power distribution. Keep the base architecture permanent and make every device holder replaceable. A standard rail, bolt pattern or dovetail interface could outlive several phones, cameras, and potentially Matrix herself.